All right, guys, let's talk about it. That deafening silence. You had a great date or a few good conversations, you thought things were clicking, and then nothing. No calls, no messages for days, maybe weeks. Your mind is racing, right? What did I do wrong? Is she okay? Is she testing me? Believe it or not, when she goes silent for a long time, it's sending a loud message. And today, we're decoding exactly what that message usually is and what it's not. Stick around because the last point will change how you see this forever. This isn't just about a missed message. This radio silence can hijack your brain. You start replaying every interaction, dissecting every word. Did I say something weird? Was my joke not funny? Did I come on too strong or not strong enough? You might check your phone 100 times a day. That little pang of hope turning into disappointment with every empty notification screen. It's maddening. You feel powerless, confused, and maybe even a little foolish. This uncertainty can erode your confidence and make you second-guess yourself in a big way. And the truth is, most of what you're imagining, probably not what's actually happening. So, what's really going on when she goes quiet for an extended period? We're going to break down the most common reasons, from the brutally honest to the more nuanced. I'm not going to give you fluff or false hope. I'm going to give you the likely truths so you can stop guessing, regain your composure, and know how to move forward with your dignity intact. Understanding these scenarios is your first step to taking back control of your emotional state. Are you ready for some real talk? Reason number 1, the most common and hardest truth: lack of sufficient interest. All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off with the most common reason. The one most guys don't want to hear but need to understand. Her prolonged silence, more often than not, simply means her interest level isn't high enough to prioritize communication with you. Ouch. I know that stings, but absorbing this truth is incredibly liberating. This doesn't necessarily mean she thinks you're a bad guy. It doesn't mean you're undateable. It often means that, for her, based on your interactions so far, the connection wasn't strong enough, the spark wasn't there, or she met someone else who captured her attention more. Or perhaps she was only mildly interested from the start, and that interest has now faded. People, especially in early dating, prioritize who and what they are genuinely excited about. Now you're thinking, why not just tell me? Fair question. Several reasons. Many people are conflict avoidant. They find it awkward or uncomfortable to directly reject someone. Sometimes they fear a negative or aggressive reaction. Other times they're hoping you'll get the hint to avoid that uncomfortable conversation. It can also be a form of passive decision-making. By not responding, the situation resolves itself. Is it the most mature or respectful way? Often, no. But it is incredibly common. She might also be unsure herself, and her silence is a result of indecision, which functionally still translates to not interested enough right now. It usually doesn't mean she's playing elaborate, hard-to-get games if it's truly a long time, days turning into a week or more without explanation. It usually doesn't mean she's secretly obsessed with you and is just shy. If she was truly interested, you'd likely see some effort. It usually doesn't mean she's lost her phone or is stranded on a desert island. Possible, but highly improbable as a long-term explanation. When this is the case, the best response is dignified acceptance and moving on. Chasing, sending multiple messages, or demanding an explanation usually backfires, further lowering her interest, if any was left, and definitely lowering your self-respect. Recognize that her silence is the explanation. It's her way of saying, no, thank you, or not interested enough. Your power comes from respecting that, even if you don't like the delivery method, and redirecting your energy elsewhere. But what if it's not a complete lack of interest? What if there are other, more complicated factors at play? Let's look at another possibility. Okay, reason number 2. She might be genuinely incredibly busy or going through something personally overwhelming. This is a real possibility. Life happens. Work deadlines, family emergencies, personal crises, mental health struggles. People can get swamped. When this is the case, her silence isn't necessarily about you. It's about her capacity. She might have every intention of getting back to you, but is simply underwater. Important projects, sick parents, moving, exams, these things can consume all available bandwidth. Her communication, not just with you, but possibly with many others, takes a back seat. However, this is where nuance is vital. Even the busiest people can usually find 30 seconds to send a quick text like, "Hey, slammed right now, we'll connect soon," or "Things are crazy, can I touch base next week?" if the interest and desire are truly there. So, how do you differentiate? Prior communication. Was she previously responsive and enthusiastic? A sudden, unexplained drop-off could be this, but context matters. Duration of silence. A day or two of silence from a busy person. Plausible. A week or more with zero check-in from someone who was supposedly interested? That's a bigger stretch. People make time for what they value. Any forewarning? Did she mention a big project or a stressful period coming up? The too busy trap. Be wary of this becoming a convenient recurring excuse. If someone is perpetually too busy for basic communication in the early stages, it often circles back to reason number one, insufficient interest to make time or prioritize you. If you suspect this might be the case, especially if she was very engaged before, you could send one very light, no-pressure check-in after a reasonable period, e.g., 4 to 7 days. Something like, "Hey, her name, hope you're having a good week, thinking of you." No questions, no demands, no guilt trips. If she responds and explains, great. If she's still silent or gives a vague, non-committal reply, then it's wise to assume her interest isn't high enough, reason number one, and act accordingly by pulling back your energy. Sometimes the silence isn't about her interest level in general or her schedule. Sometimes it's directly about something you did or said. Reason number three. She might be silent because she's upset, confused, offended, or disappointed by something specific that happened during your last interaction or in a message. This is where some honest self-reflection comes in. Think back. Did you make an off-color joke that didn't land? Did you perhaps dominate the conversation or not seem interested in her? Did you come across as arrogant or insecure? Were your messages too frequent or demanding? Did you say something that could have been misinterpreted or revealed a value misalignment? Sometimes, a seemingly small thing to you can be a red flag or a turnoff for someone else. Or maybe you pushed for too much intimacy, physical or emotional, too soon, making her uncomfortable. If this is the reason, her silence is a withdrawal. She might be processing, feeling awkward about bringing it up, or simply deciding that this perceived issue is a deal breaker for her. She might be waiting to see if you recognize it or apologize if it was obvious. Or she might have just decided it's easier to disengage than to confront or explain. If you genuinely suspect you messed up and you value the potential connection, reflect honestly. Don't just assume she's being sensitive. Try to see it from her perspective. Offer a genuine, specific apology, if appropriate, without expecting a response. Example. Hey, her name. Been thinking about our chat Tuesday, and I'm worried I might have come across as specific concern when I said specific thing. If so, I genuinely apologize. That wasn't my intention. Then leave it. If she wants to re-engage, she will. If not, you've done your part, learned a lesson, and can move on, knowing you tried to make amends. Now there's a more controversial theory for silence. The idea that she might be testing you. Let's unpack that. Reason number 4, the testing hypothesis. Some guys believe that when a woman goes silent, she's deliberately testing their interest, their persistence, or their confidence. The idea is she wants to see if you'll chase her, how you'll react to her pulling away. While some individuals, both men and women, might engage in these kinds of immature games, especially if they've been influenced by certain dating advice, it's generally not a sign of a healthy, mature individual looking for genuine connection. If someone is deliberately using silence to manipulate your emotions or make you prove yourself, that's a red flag for future drama and instability. If you pass the test by chasing hard, you might get a temporary response, but you've also just taught her that games and emotional manipulation work on you. You set a precedent for an unhealthy dynamic. If her interest is only piqued by excessive pursuit born from her manufactured silence, that interest is likely superficial or based on her need for validation, not genuine connection with you. Don't play these games. Your time and emotional energy are valuable. Focus on clear, direct communication and authentic interest. If you suspect games, the best move is often to disengage and find someone who communicates more maturely. Beyond these more common scenarios, there's one crucial perspective that often gets missed when we're hyper-focused on her reasons. Okay, we've explored the likely reasons behind her silence, but now for the most important part, the part I promised would change how you see this. Regardless of her specific reason, whether it's low interest, busyness, being upset, or even unlikely games, her prolonged, unexplained silence tells you something crucial. Her silence, especially if it's a pattern or follows a period where communication should be expected, is valuable information for you. It tells you her current level of investment in connecting with you is low. Her communication style, at least with you right now, is indirect or avoidant. She is not currently prioritizing you or this potential connection. You are not currently on the same page regarding communication or interest. This isn't about judging her as a bad person. It's about objectively assessing the current reality of the interaction. Your feelings of confusion or frustration are valid responses to this lack of clarity and reciprocity. Stop obsessing over the exact why on her end. You may never truly know, and trying to decode it like a detective will drive you crazy. Instead, shift your focus. Given this information, her silence, what is the most self-respecting and constructive next move for you? The answer usually involves matching her energy. If she's giving 0, you give 0. Pull back your attention and investment, valuing your own time and peace of mind. Don't put your life on hold waiting for someone who isn't actively engaging, assuming the negative disinterest until proven otherwise. It's safer for your emotional well-being than clinging to false hope based on obscure possibilities. If she is interested and genuinely had a reason for silence, the onus is on her to re-engage and explain. Her silence doesn't define your worth. It defines her current level of engagement with you. Use that information to decide if this is a connection you wish to continue investing any hope or energy in. Often, the answer is no. So, with all this in mind, what are the concrete do's and don'ts when faced with that wall of silence? All right, quick-fire do's and don'ts. Do assume her silence means lack of sufficient interest until she clearly proves otherwise with words and actions. Do focus on your own life, hobbies, goals, and friends. Do match her energy level. If she's silent, you're not aggressively pursuing. Do be open to communication if she reinitiates clearly and respectfully and addresses the silence if it was lengthy. Do maintain your self-respect above all else. Don't bombard her with messages or calls. The double text dilemma. Usually avoid, especially after prolonged silence. Don't demand an explanation or get accusatory. Don't put your life on hold waiting for her. Don't overanalyze or create elaborate fictional reasons for her silence. Don't stalk her social media for clues. It will only make you feel worse. Don't internalize her silence as a reflection of your inherent worth. So, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means it's time for you to take that as clear information and act with self-respect. It often means she's not interested enough, and that's okay. It means you redirect your valuable energy towards people and pursuits that bring you joy and reciprocation. You deserve clear communication and enthusiastic interest. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from someone going silent on you? Or what's your go-to strategy for handling it? Share your wisdom in the comments below. Let's help each other out. If this video gave you some much-needed clarity or a new perspective, please smash that like button and share it with any friends who are currently stuck in that waiting by the phone limbo. You could save them a lot of anxiety. And for more no BS insights into dating, confidence, and understanding human behavior, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss what's coming next.